welcome to Twinset and Purl's Knitting Podcast, episode
28.
As you can probably tell,
I'll try not to fiddle with my
on location. Anyway, before we start, I'm Jo.
I'm Rachel.
And we're twin sisters. You're very much in the better light than me. I don't know how that's working. Anyway, never mind. We're twin sisters. We are avid knitters, and a few years ago we started designing patterns. Rach designs mostly socks, and I design shawls and cowls. Rachel's got a few cowls as well, and sweaters. We've got a Ravelry store called Twinset and Purl, with a Ravelry group as well
For the podcast.
And then we've also got an Instagram account, so you can find all that information. We've got our own Instagram account, and we've also got one for Twinset and Purl. So if there's any information
and our
you
email
need,
and everything is
all down below.
Yeah.
So
without further ado,
well, we've got a little bit of admin
for the group.
Yeah, so we've got a cowl running at the minute.
Oh, it's on Instagram as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So the cowl, we've got two cowls. We've got a Morris cowl, which is a shawl cowl. Morris is a design that I designed earlier in the year.
You've got one to show today.
Yeah, I've got one to show today. And we're running that cowl until the end of June. So pop in any of your FOs into the finished objects thread, and we'll be drawing a prize beginning of July.
And you might get a little bit more time depending on when we podcast next. We'll close the thread just before we
podcast.
So if you finished going and you hadn't posted it, go and check. The thread might still be open. We're not 100% sure when we're going to get together in July.
No.
So
and then we've got another cowl running, which is the Scrappy Socks KAL, which is running all year. So we'll be picking prizes periodically. We had a prize in the last podcast, and probably quarterly-ish we'll be picking prizes. So back to where we are.
Yes.
We're staying in a really lovely Airbnb in just outside York, in a place called Nunnington.
It's the Nunnington Hall.
Very nice. It's really lovely. We went. Well, yesterday we drove up and we had a little bit trip to the York Outlet Mall, and then we came over here and then we went out for dinner in a really lovely pub called the Fairfax Arms. Just a short drive away, and today we're going off to Botanical Yarn's open studio at her dye studio, and then in the afternoon we've got a craft-a-noon with some friends that Sophie's organised in a pub. So
sounds perfect. Yes,
we're really looking forward to that. So yeah, that's why we're in York. We like to come up this way when Sophie has an open studio if we can, because it's really always good fun. We get to see the latest colours and squish all the yarn, meet all the people.
And we've made friends with some people who love Sophie's yarn but also test knit for us. So we get to meet them every time we come up, because they come almost everyone, I think.
Yeah. So that's really cool. So today we're going to share our FOs and our whips, and we've got a few acquisitions.
But have we?
I've got a couple of project bags.
Yeah, I've got a project bag, but we left the yarn, the majority.
We left the yarn behind because it was too much to bring in the car, but also because we've been buying some cones. But also I was hoping that some yarn would arrive, and it didn't arrive until yesterday.
So next time
we'll
be doing we are together next weekend for Flock, Oxford. So we may do a mini acquisitions.
That's a good idea.
We may not have FOs and things to show, but you
never know what could happen this week.
We could do a little acquisition one after Flock when we've bought some more Bird Street yarn, probably. That might be a good idea.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll start with what I'm wearing the same thing I wore last podcast.
So we will copy the information.
Yeah, so it's my material. It's based on The Material Girl by Shiana Billow. I'm so rubbish at names. I was just telling Rach, there's a new lady on my team and I've been calling her the wrong name all week, and then somebody said, "Jo, she's not called that." I'm so sorry. To get it in my head, it's like I'm always mixed two letters up in a word. So I don't say Sudoku, I say Sudoku. To me, it's Sudoku, and Zakami Yarns is Zamaki. I just
do it.
I just do it, and I don't know why.
And I just laugh like Jimmy Carr. If anybody knows Jimmy Carr, it's like.
So yeah, so I'm rubbish, and I'm really. The lady is never going to watch this, but I am so sorry if ever I call you the wrong name. It's because I've got this thing in my head that mixes two letters up in a word. Anyway,
right. I think we should just quickly talk about my new design. That got released yesterday.
Fine. Yeah.
Jo's got a picture because I, for the life of me, could not find it. But yesterday I released the Vetch's Blue Thistle Socks, which were December's 2022 botanical yarn.
They were all over
design.
lace.
It's a tuck stitch. Actually,
oh right, they look lacy from here.
When you these are things on my face. When you
over your face,
you were over my mouth, and I was right. I'm talking.
Oh, anyway, shut up.
So you drop down and you do a tuck stitch, and they look like little thistles, which is why it was named after a blue thistle.
Right, my arm hurts
and
from doing that.
I released them yesterday, and there was a discount code at the moment, which is thistle, and we'll get you 25% off until tomorrow night, midnight, Sunday 18th of June, and then they will be added to the podcast bonus
which is
promotion,
below.
which is
You can get all the details below.
And that was a long time ago that I designed them, but we finally have completed 2022's sock club, and next month I get to release January 2023. So
exciting.
That's exciting. Right, just briefly, you can go on Instagram and have a look more about those.
Yeah. So this design also came out.
Oh yeah.
Just after the last podcast.
For some reason I thought you were showing it as an FO.
I know.
Sorry.
This is a shawl that I designed for a quarterly accessories club that I am doing with botanical yarn.
The right way around. That's the right round.
This is the right round. And this is the Magnolia Heaven shawl. And it's knit with a skein of mohair and a skein of fingering weight.
Going up your nose.
It's going up my nose. And it's the crescent shape that I'm obsessed with. But it's so easy to wear, and everybody who knits it just says how easy this shape is to wear.
And also, when you get to the middle, you don't have a huge number of stitches on your needles, and after that you're decreasing, so the second half seems to go quicker.
Yeah.
And this is a very mindless knit. It's a rib. Sorry,
it's knits and purls. And
reverse stocking. You get a reverse garter.
Yeah. And it's almost reversible. You get a very slightly different pattern with the pearl bumps on. This is what I'm calling the right side, but it's almost indiscernible from the wrong side.
So this is knitting out of botanical yarn, but not the colourway.
It's not the colourway that's in the accessories club.
But you can go on botanicalyarn.com and see that, because it is available. If Sophie sold out, it's available for pre-order, I think, because this is a quarterly club.
Yeah.
So the next pattern.
But it's lovely because it's the mohair that's got the speckle, the variegation.
Yeah, it's lovely.
And,
it's
so light.
It's one skein. It's a 50-gram skein of mohair.
You don't even use all of it.
No, and a 100-gram skein of 4-ply. So you can easily go in your stash. And
so the whole thing weighs less than 150 grams.
And it's very warm. Jo tried to make you wear it.
Anyway, we'll just have a bit of a close-up of the texture. It looks almost woven. I absolutely love it. So that's out now, available from botanicalYarn.com.
So the pattern's exclusive.
Yeah, the pattern's exclusive for a little bit. We need to work out when we can start selling those.
Yeah.
So have you got any FOs?
I do. I've got one there. So I
right,
finished
okay.
my dad's Father's Day socks, which were the. We'll talk a little bit more about these. Katia Concept.
Because he wanted scrappy socks, and so Rachel won't do them because they're.
So I'm doing self-striping for him, but I picked these colours that are beautiful. If you hold it, there's a yellow in there as well. They are lovely. The yarn is lovely, apart from there's a little blip, but then that's what you get with self-striping yarn sometimes. A lot of if it was a hand dye, they probably rejected that skein.
Yeah.
But it isn't as expensive as self-striping. It's £10 a wool.
And he's gonna love them.
Yeah, he's gonna love them, and I think I managed to match them pretty well. I do 72 stitches on a 2.75mm needle for him. The yarn is Katia Concept Aava, and it is 75% merino wool, 25% polyamide, and I think it was 8 colours and 8 different colourways in the range. So they sell it at my local yarn store.
Can I put it down?
Yeah. So it must be relatively easy to get hold of. And yeah, so I posted those off to him.
It's Father's Day in the UK tomorrow.
And I think he might have got them because I got a message saying the Royal Mail had got his parcel. With some dark chocolate cover. Oh, you might watch this. Dark chocolate covered.
Oh well.
Dark chocolate covered marzipan.
He'll have opened it anyway because he never waits.
He never waits. No.
He's of the theory that he's 86 and he might not wake up tomorrow, so he's always opens everything straight away.
Yeah. So what have you?
Well, I've got something to show with those. So I finished the little baby cardigan that I'm making for my friend's baby, she's now full term. But we haven't heard yet whether the baby's on its way.
She was on Instagram. She seemed to be doing everything she possibly could.
Yeah, and this is. I think she's getting fed up with the heat. And this is a baby vertebrae.
You showed it, didn't you?
Yeah, I just finished. I haven't done the sleeve cuffs or the neckband. And it's a little frontless cardigan, so that babies don't spill stuff down the front of it.
Can also have
and they can also wear they can wear it and you can do skin to skin contact easily. It's in the King Cole bamboo cotton, which is a beautiful yarn to knit with. It's a double knit.
You still got to block it.
I've still got to block it. This is we'll give it a good steam at least. This is the 0 to 3 month size, but it goes up to 2 years or something.
And there's an adult.
I think, and there's a children's one and an adult version. Yeah, it's a really sweet little knit, and I think really useful for newborns. And the colourway is oyster. So yeah, that's, and I started doing the cuffs with magic loop, and I'm rubbish at magic loop.
I hate it anyway.
Yeah, so I ended up digging out these and doing it on these, my 3.5mm higher flyers, and then it was perfect.
Did you buy them in case you did DK socks?
No, I bought them when I started knitting socks. I bought a set, and they were 2mm, 2.25, 2.5, 2.75, and 3.5mm came. So I guess they are for DK socks,
or Aaron socks. Okay.
But these
they're the biggest size. Oh no, that's just the spectrum.
Yeah. So yeah, so they saved the day, and it's in my butternut handmade project bag.
Oh.
Right,
Lovely. So talk about have you bought the cowl, have you?
yeah.
Okay. Somewhere in the bottom of the bag.
Oh, don't tell me I didn't bring it.
after all that. No, there it is. So next, these are tops. This pattern's coming out next Saturday to mark the start of Myeloma Awareness Week, and I finally finished my second one, and you can see the difference that blocking makes. Yeah, and I don't have a sock blocker with me, unfortunately. Forgot that bit.
This one doesn't need a sock blocker, does it?
No.
It's perfection.
It is lovely. So it's drops Nord, and it's in the rust mix and the blush colourways, and that it's got alpaca and wool and polyamide in it. And it's lovely yarn actually. It's a little bit thicker, but when I actually
nice and warm with the
so
alpaca.
we went, yeah, these are for you actually.
Oh, thanks.
When I had blocked them and I went to measure my gauge, only my row gauge had changed. I still get the same 8 centimetres to an inch, everybody. 8 stitches to an inch, 10 rows. That's the rather than 12. So anyway, it's this very similar pattern to the shawl, but it's
a slightly different number of
knit 3
knits and
purl
purls.
one, yeah. And yeah, so I finished 2, and this pattern will be out on Saturday with the cowl, which Jo's going to show you now, which is gorgeous.
Sorry, it needed a press.
And
it's been in my bag, scraped up in my bag.
And Jo's test knitters are finishing now. They love it.
Yeah, this is
Croft.
West Yorkshire Spinners The Croft Shetland yarn.
DK
in Maywick and Challister.
And that information will all be down below.
And it's obviously quite warm for this at the minute, but it's a nice sturdy cowl that's going to be lovely under a coat, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to knit a navy blue and like a mustard ochre one.
I've got some blue and yellow to knit my dad one. I think you'll like that.
You will. It's lovely. So these patterns will be coming out, and I hadn't said this to Jo, but I was just thinking that we don't normally do a discount on our charity patterns, but I was thinking for Myeloma Awareness Week, if you buy both, you can get 15% off. If you put both patterns in your thing, so we'll mention that again.
Yeah, and then any other patterns that we sell,
I think we're going to do buy one get one free again for the week that we did,
but not for these two.
But not for the charity patterns.
Right. So the charity patterns never get included in buy one get one free.
No, none of them.
We've got about 8 charity patterns, 6 charity patterns.
Yeah, can't remember now.
Yeah, mostly socks. Yeah, so our charity patterns don't get included in the buy one get one free, but we'll do a buy one get one free
because we give all the money,
and all the money will go to
Myeloma UK for the week, for the Myeloma Awareness Week.
Right, are we going to be able to do all of that in Ravelry? 15% off these two, and
yeah, because they're not included. They're not included in the buy one get one free.
Okay,
so it's
fine.
easy.
Fine, you can sort it.
What we have to do is make it clear to people, and also the fact that you can put as many multiples of 2, and you get them buy one get one free. But if you're like, for example, when we did the money for Gambia, the ebooks for Bridgerton ebooks were included, but to get one of those free, you had to put only those 2 in the cart. So some people were clever enough, some people weren't, and they got a sock free. But you know, that's how it works, people.
And you can check on Ravelry before you pay.
Oh yeah, because it comes up with what your discount. Yeah, what your discount is, and I think people just thought, oh.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, if you haven't got the Bridgerton collections,
then that's a good way to get them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's for the in the know.
That's the hint for the podcast listeners.
I have got so many whips. You better get on to your last.
My last FO is this my last FO?
You had 3 FOs.
I've got another FO.
Have you?
because the other shawl was not an FO.
Oh.
The shawl was a new. Right, so
Fine.
I have finally finished my lace weight Morris. It's the one skein shawl.
Oh yeah.
And I started knitting this, and then I started a lace weight one for Rachel.
Oh, before mine.
And I finished it this week. And this is knit in Garthnor number 1.
How many Morrises have you knit now then?
I've knit
5.
4 Morrises. The original green one,
The beige.
a 4-ply one,
Yeah.
and 2 lace weight
Oh
ones.
right, I thought you knitted another colour as
well. That I'm sure there's going to be more in my future because I absolutely love him. And this is the colour Smoke, and it's like air.
So it's Garthnor
number 1.
lace on.
And it's a mixture of 3. I didn't bring the ball band with me, bad podcaster. But it's.
You talked about it before.
Yeah, it's less than 2. Well, it was less than 2 50-gram balls, and they didn't weigh 50 grams because I weighed one. It was 47 grams. Thank you, Garthnor. Anyway, there was plenty of yarn to finish it off, and
beautiful. That would have gone with what you were wearing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be very warm, even though it's really light.
Yeah. So Morris will be in the buy one get one free, and at the moment this week he's got 20% off.
And Cecil.
Oh yeah. Wow.
If you get Cecil and Morris.
Have we just released Cecil?
Yeah. No, Cecil came out after the.
No, he hadn't, because we've been to.
Cecil came out after the buy one get one free.
No, the podcast I meant. Last podcast.
Oh no, we had launched him. He was on the Thursday.
Yeah. Thanks for all the Cecil love, everyone. He's the best launch we ever had.
And my other FO, my last FO, is something that I had no business casting on or working on, but I was going into the office. I was going somewhere, and it's London. I went to London with my husband, and I needed something to knit on the train, and I started one of my whips to knit on the train, which I did knit on the train, and I didn't have the right needles, so I'd started that whip, which is a lace weight whip, on 3.75, as they were the needles I had in the room, and the gauge was too big, too loose. So I had this skein of yarn, so I started knitting this one on the 3.75 needles, and I've wanted to knit a 1 skein shawl and design a pattern for a 1 skein shawl for ages, because I have got so many single skeins of beautiful hand dyed yarn, and I could never, never works out.
Yeah.
And this one,
I think we need to talk a bit fast.
Okay.
We're on a time limit today.
This yarn is Black Elephant yarn, and I bought this.
Don't mean to be bossy.
You can be bossy.
It's
called Mudbound, and I bought this several years ago.
Yeah.
At Unravel. It's superwash merino singles, and there's 366 meters to 100 grams, so it's even smaller than the normal. It hasn't been blocked yet, but it's this beautiful muted with little pops of
loads of colours, isn't it?
Loads of colours, and you can't really tell. It's got hasn't got a wrong side or a right side.
Can you try it on quick? It's just it'll be a little bit longer after it's blocked.
After garter stitch is blocked, it'll be slightly longer. Probably going to wear it.
Oh, it's so cute.
And so I started that, and basically it's some of Cecil.
Yeah.
Cecil's got an extra bit on the top, which gives him.
But Joe I've said to Jo that she can't give this pattern away for free. A, because you're going to get test knit, aren't you?
Yeah.
And B, because the construction of this shape is her.
Came out of my head.
Yeah, it's her design. So she can't, if she gives it away.
Yeah, so
then
my plan is to come up with 2 or 3, maybe 4 different stitch patterns that you could put on in these numbers.
Yeah, because how long does it take you to knit it really?
It's like, it took me like 4 days.
Yeah, so you can knit a lot.
So over the summer, I'm going to come up with a lace one, a bit more of a ribby one or whatever, and and I'll publish them in the autumn.
Cool.
So yeah, I absolutely loved it. I couldn't stop doing it, and I was like, "You've got other things you need to do," and I couldn't stop. So there we go.
Right. So
and that was in my little grey girl bag.
Even your minute bags.
Right.
So I think we should just rattle. Oh, I should have showed this when we were talking about the. So I've back onto whips now. I knitted almost half of the Magnolia Heaven to test it for Jo. Somebody else did test it, the whole thing.
Yeah, thank
Just
you,
so
Pam.
you know.
Pam knit a beautiful sample for Sophie.
So this is the right side, and I am knitting mine. So it's the same pattern. I'm knitting mine out of Rowan. Our Airbnb owner is leaving. Rowan sock and Rowan kid silk mohair. The sock is in the colour. Well, it's like singles. I don't think I'd ever knit socks with it. Bit of a floral. It is colour 5. It's their new sock yarn. I think they've got a little bit of a problem. And I don't have the tag of the mohair, but as soon as I get home, we'll do the show notes. But as soon as I get home, I will add to them. So I've got another ball, obviously. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying knitting it. I just had lots of other things to be doing, as you will see. Well, I can't even talk about half of it. So that's that one, and then we can. So my other whip is, and I haven't done very much, but Jo put me to shame because she started another one. But I just wanted to show you how far I've gone. I've done about an hour on him since the last podcast, and I think I just started the chocolate last time, and I've done that much, and the chocolate there is just starting to be on its own, and I've got a bit more of the blue to do with it, and then there'll be a whole section of just the chocolate brown, and that's my colourways for my mohair. But all that information will be down below. 2 drops.
Have you shown it before?
Yeah, I showed it last podcast. 2 drops kid silk and a Wool Kitchen in She's Electric. Just to go quickly because
And the base is Flora.
And the base is drops Flora in, I think it's called White Fog. But yeah, so I haven't done very much. So.
And I showed my yarn last time as an acquisition, and I'm knitting it with this cotton linen as my base colour, and then lace weight alpaca from Isaiah as the colours, and the pink on the camera. It does stand out, it does show. So I'm just on the pink blob. So I've just finished the second chart. I'm hoping that this is gonna plump up a bit.
Yeah.
When it's washed. It feels like it's got, if you feel that, it feels like it's got something in it.
Yeah.
And I'll just show you the new ball of this is the base yarn that I'm using to make it a summer version. Isaiah Boomlin and it's 65% cotton, 35% linen.
Very nice.
And those are the 3 colours of alpaca one.
Did you make yourself a stitch marker to go with it?
No, I already had it. I did make it, but I didn't. I already had it.
Brilliant.
This is going to be my afternoon knitting. Because the last thing I've got to show is going to have some unpicking done on
And how many things have you got? More have you got? I've got one more. Oh right, well I better go through some.
Oh no, I've got just quickly, because I hadn't shown this yarn.
Oh right.
I bought
you
this.
Shown Betty.
No, I didn't.
Oh right.
I forgot it. I bought this at the last flock from Pixie Yarns, and it's a lace weight merino, and the colourway's Betty. And I'd wound it before the last podcast, and I forgot to bring it.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
But it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm knitting the Cecil numbers without any mohair, just to get this shape. And it's going to be a present for a friend who loves really bright colours, so I thought Betty was perfect. It's going to be 100 gram, massive. It's going to be a massive shawl, 100 grams, just perfect for. And that is in an acquisition. So I bought this bag from Beautiful Knitters, and then we were in London and there was a Ukrainian church and they were selling some little bits to raise some money. So I gave them a donation, and I'm actually going to send it to my dad because he's a big Ukraine fan. Is that fan? Is that the right word? Is it? Yeah, supporter is the word. When I knit his cowl, I might just put that on it. Send it to him. Anyway, this little bag is from Beautiful Knitters, and it says sunshine.
Is it this?
It's Cerisa Legato, so the cherry on top of the cake is the brand, and I love it. So sorry, that was a very whistle stop of one of my whips.
So I had my next whip is nearly finished actually. I had hoped that I would finish it before the podcast, but I can't make a decision. So this is my DK Material Girl. So since the last, so it's been knitted in Stylecraft Naturals bamboo cotton in the moss green and natural colourway. All that information has been
shared on the last
and will be on the podcast. So I ended up having to buy another ball of the moss green, and while I was waiting I did as much as I could, and I had to start that ball in the rib, I think. Anyway, I did the short row. If you can just hold it that way up.
Which way?
That way. The short row on the back, and it was one cream stripe and then this little bit of green, and I did the rib, and then on the front you can see that the rib is after a green, so I wanted to do that on the sleeves. So I did slightly longer sleeve. I actually did sleeves written to pattern, so it's 7.5 inches before you do the ribbing, and that worked perfectly for me. But when I tried it on, I wasn't. It comes to there. I wasn't 100% sure if I would wear it more if the sleeve was longer. So I started the second sleeve and was going to talk myself into whatever sleeve I thought I would prefer. So I've got one green stripe left to do and the ribbing, but then I'm the kind of person who, if I did another stripe and if I did another green stripe and then it would be the same length as the front, as the body, and I don't like that either. But I don't want to buy another ball of that.
I'll just knit the sleeve as it is the other one is, and I've done with it.
Okay, I can always knit another one, can't I?
Excuse me.
I can always knit
to be
another
honest, how many times are you gonna? You're only gonna wear it like once a fortnight or something.
Yes, I do love the colours though.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'll finish that in the car on the way home tomorrow. You're right. The voice of reason has spoken. Yeah, cool. Thanks, Jo, for that. And that's living in my botanical yarn beautiful bag. I can't remember why I got it in a box, I think. Or something. One of her, you know, mini boxes that she does so well. Right. What have you got now? Do you want to talk about at the end? Because you've got someone talking about your test.
No.
So
How many more have you got?
I've got 2, 3, 4 more.
Are you going to share all of them?
Yeah, really quickly, because they've been talked about before in other episodes.
Okay.
So I'm knitting this little count top for Bex, for the baby who is now here. So I'd finished the back. It's a Debbie Bliss pattern, and I'm knitting mine out of drops.
Does it have a name?
It's called the Cable Tank.
Oh, right, okay.
Nothing spectacular, and it's in a book, so I don't know if you can get it separately anyway. And it's this little 2x2 cable, ribbed cable, which is, I'm knitting mine in drops baby silk alpaca, which is discontinued, unfortunately, because it's lovely yarn. And I've cast on the back since we've been on the way here. So I'm at about 2/3 of the way to the armhole. So I will get that done this week because we are seeing Claire at Flock at the weekend. I can give it to her to give it back before he gets any bigger. Even I'm doing 0 to 3 months, but I think he's quite little and it's quite big. It's quite normal size. So yeah, so that's living in the Marimekko bag that we talked about last 2 times ago, maybe, because I think I showed it last time. But all the information will be down low, and I apologise for rattling through. I may not talk about that one. Right. So just the progress on my woolen flower, in the woolen flower bag, my cowl, which I am loving. So I've now finished 3 colours. This colour block cowl. So I finished, so that's dyed with cochineal.
The orange looks bigger.
Well, it's whatever I've got, I don't care. Cause it's
No, but I'm just saying it looks like you've got a bit more.
little bit more maybe.
Maybe it's the fact that it's lighter as well.
And that colour, that one, had the cast on as well, but it is the same. Yeah, so I'm just knitting a little bit every morning while I'm in bed.
I think the coral's my favourite colour. Yeah,
so the coral will be in the middle, and then the next colour I'm going to do is the blue, and then have that one by my face. So yeah, so I'm just knitting a bit every day, ending where I end it and starting the next one. And that's on 3.5mm needles, and I want it to finish because I need.
So you're going to get roughly that much again.
Yeah, so I think it's about 7 inches per colour, and there's 5 colours. So.
Right. Is 35 inches going to be
it's
enough?
Not going to be enough. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be enough. It hasn't been blocked. I don't think it's going to be enough to. You could do that, I think. Cross it over and wear it in your coat.
If you didn't want it all scrunched up.
But I think I'm just going to wear it around the house, all scrunched up around it. I was wearing something the other day and I thought, that's going to look. Yeah, so that's in a woolen flower bag. All the information will be.
It's a lovely bag.
Down below. And because I finished Dad's stripy socks, I cast on, and these are my Bird Street yarn socks for June. I did talk about the yarn last time, I think. And oh look, there's the label for the other socks. This is Bird Street yarn in the Reverend Blue Jeans colourway, which is perfect for our blue jeans wearing Reverend. What hair am I?
So if you didn't know, our dad used to be a vicar,
Yeah.
and he always wore jeans. He always wears jeans.
And this is the Anthony sock from Bridgerton Collection 2. And I think you can just about see the cables. I've done 1.5 repeat, almost 1.5 repeats. Where's the light? The light is a bit dodgy, isn't it? There. You can see the cables. Cause it to go, it kind of goes. It's a lovely pattern.
I have one Anthony sock.
So it's his birthday later in the month, but I'm going to try and finish them this week. But of course then you have to get them to the Isle of Man. So they will be in, hopefully I'll get them finished by the end of the week. That's what I'm saying. But I've forgotten how much I enjoyed knitting this pattern. But at the moment I seem to be doing little cables. So
and because they're staggered, you don't get many rows without. Well, you obviously get rows in between the cables.
Yeah.
But you don't get lots of rows without cables.
No. But
I know, it's a lovely design.
Yeah, and it also means that because it's like a rib, the rest of it, it doesn't make the sock any small. The cable doesn't make the sock any smaller. It really shows the pattern. So I was a bit worried because of his need for a loose sock. They are on 2.75s. I thought I was going to have to go up, work out what an 80 stitch sock is, but they actually, like the cuff and everything, it's fine. So just go up a needle size if you've got an old man with thick ankles who needs his and that's living in my little grey girl bag that Joe bought me. Sock wiki design. And then my last one I will talk about because it's in such a beautiful bag we have to show. This is the bags that come with little sack that comes with the sports sack bags. And I cast on the colourway Hallow Cream by Botanical Yarn. So knit this afternoon at the Crafternoon. And I've done the ribbing, or no, I'm halfway through the ribbing. I'm going to knit the Jomo socks, which are a free pattern of ours. And they have cables, but not for a while. I think I have to do the same again in ribbing before I start the leg of the sock. But that's just a beauty. I wound it up and it's just stunning. And I thought I went with the bag quite well. So yeah, so that will be coming in my new acquisition, which I'm showing a minuet. Is that new?
No. This has been shown before because Rachel wants it so bad, this bag. I just love the little orange. It's actually from Toast, and I got it in sale because I can't afford things from there. Not in the sale. They
actually called it a project bag, didn't they?
I can't
remember. They had project bags. I saw it. I saw it as well. Yeah,
and in here is my knitting shed shawl design. And
have you shown it before?
I've shown it before. I showed it last time, and I was talking about doing the test call. I've decided to add a little section, which is, so I've done the start of, I was going to show. It's very difficult in this light. It is. It's going to be,
hold it really close.
It's going to be a section with a slightly bigger mosaic design. That's going to, I can show it on the picture of the. So it's going to be some triangles. So I'm going to do 2 triangles going one way, and then something in the middle, and then triangles going that way on the other side to get a panel that will be down the front, the centre. So either the front or however you wear it. And so I'm in the process of working that out. But while I was doing that, just to prove that, None of us are perfect. I found a mistake, and I have done my slip stitch, and I've put the yarn on the wrong side. So I'm going to have to unpick. I have to unpick like nearly 3 inches of knitting, because I don't think I can tink down and get the tension right. So I'm going to have to do that. The pattern is, I would say, 80% written. Since the last time, I've given it a bit of a steam block, and you can see the edging now that it's flat. I think it's a lot. It's obviously more attractive now. It's now it's flat. And I will be putting out a call for testers at some point in the near future.
Oh, I thought you were planning to soon, but now you've got to.
Yeah, now I've got to unpick, and then I wanted to be able to show you the mosaic panel.
Yeah.
Before I when I put the test call out, because I don't want people to. I want people to see what they're going to be doing. Yeah. So, at some point when I get a minute, that is your focus, isn't it? Yeah, I have got lots going on at the minute. I'm halfway through an 8-week course with Cambridge University for work, and it's pretty full on. So there's lots happening, and I'm still knitting, because have to. It's like breathing, but yeah. And I just realised there's another thing I wanted to show before we get on to with acquisitions. We are on acquisitions, aren't we? After this, after that is the latest copy of the Knitter. So if you follow us on Instagram, you'll have seen, hopefully. Who knows with the algorithm who's seen any of them? I'm in the Knitter this month, and I'm next to Debbie Bliss on the front. And this is the design. It's a cowl, and I can find it quick. Quite near the beginning. Yeah. Here we go. It's called the Concertina Cowl. And it's a 2-colour cowl. It's knit in John Arbon Alpaca Supreme, which is beautiful yarn. And it's like a reverse stockinette, and it's got eyelets, and then it's got this little tab that you knit and cinch in one side. So you get slightly asymmetric shape, and then it's got a little pointed bit down the back. So I love the fact, I love seeing my shawl designs on a model. It's can't go over that. So yeah, that's in this lovely tear. Yeah, issue 190 of the Knitter. Obviously there's lots of other designs in there. You can get it digitally on Ravelry. Can you? Yeah, $6.99. And you can get it free from your library if you're in the UK. Or no, and I don't know where else. The Libby. I use Libby, and maybe I can get it because my county buys the thing. Yeah. So there's lots of really nice. What did Debbie Bliss design? Let's find out. Just out of interest. Debbie Bliss, 53. Sorry, I'm doing a little bit in it. Debbie Bliss designed this cardigan that you then embroider. Right, thank you. Let me share that. And then you've got one acquisition and I've got one acquisition.
So yesterday we went to the outlet mall, and in the outlet mall, the Kath Kidson is finally closing down after threatening to close down quite a few times in the past, going bankrupt.
Is she not having a shop anymore?
No, the lady was saying to me that Next have bought her fabric designs and her design, and they will be continuing. She wasn't sure what form it would continue, but this bag cost me £5.40, and it's pomegranates, and I think it's really pretty for the summer. And you can tie it. You can put your projects in it and tie it tight, or you can have it as a. Which I'm going to put my project in, so I'm going to. And I'm actually going to take this one because it's got a cable needle that I need. So I'm going to make it a bit, and then I might just tie it up because I can. And then so I thought that was very nice. Couldn't resist.
I have to say, some of the patterns that were in there, she's gone a bit off-piste.
Yeah, and there was lots of things like 21, 22 diaries. Who's going to want to buy that?
And I think it's gone to very much to the Japanese market. Yeah. Because some of the patterns were a bit...
Lots of frills, weren't there? Anyway, this was lovely. I got that.
And when I bought the bag from Beautiful Knitters, I used a voucher that my dad had given me for my birthday last year, and I also bought this bag, which is by Mood. I've got a couple of their bags, and the leather is beautiful, but I saw this on a Beautiful Knitters Instagram story, and I was like, I think that's really handy to have because it's got a slot here, slots for your knitting needles, and then your project. Or what I've done is I've got my needles, my other needle tips in the pouch in the front, and just random bits of notions, and then my notions pouch in there, so it keeps it all together when you're travelling. And I obviously wouldn't take that
other project there
just every out and about with me, but like when you're travelling, it's handy to have all of that together. And that's just this beautiful, the leather.
I like the black one you've got with the strap that you wear as a
bag. Yeah.
I do like that one as well. It's lovely.
That's my only acquisition.
So we will be having.
Feels like I apologise. I don't feel like this has been the best
episode, and we should I'll put in a thing at the beginning to say if it's your first time watching us, watch the one before.
So we're after this in a minute to go to the Open Studio. We're going to film a little bit there so you can see what the studio looks like and say hi to a few people. And then we're going to possibly film a little bit during the crafternoon just to show you what everybody's up to.
Apologies if we forget, because often we get caught up in the moment.
But no, we're going to make a real effort.
Are we?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we drive back to Oxford tomorrow.
And then you're coming back next weekend
for Flock.
And we will film either in the morning, minus Bird Street Yarn purchase. They've got some beautiful minis just for Flock. I might have to go. Because we are going to get some stuff today, so so that might be like a half an hour of acquisitions for you next week, and but we're having a wonderful time. We love having little weekends away together, don't we?
So look out for the new patterns that are coming out.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that as well maybe next weekend.
Yeah.
When we launch them. Maybe we should do a little live.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And on Instagram that will be. And yeah, the launch of Myeloma Awareness Week.
Cool. Thanks everybody.
Sorry.
We will.
I'm quite tired.
Yeah. We'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. If you like this random
gaggle of projects, and it was very fast, I know, and I do apologise for that.
If you liked it, please like and subscribe. And go and watch one of the previous ones where a little bit less random. Cool. Thank you everybody. Bye.